right here, okay? Wait right here. Don't move. Don't move.
Lisa Goodman is an amazing actress, and it was our first time to work together. And she took this piece super seriously. You could tell the level of depth an actor's going when you're doing a rehearsal and you kind of glance over and see her script. You see it's just like riddled with notes. And in some cases, not notes, but you could just see that the page had been held forever, you know. And that payoff, even before going in the rehearsals, you could see how the payoff was. A lot of times she would challenge an idea until she could find the clarity or the truth in it. And I loved that about this whole piece, because if that character doesn't have it solid in her head what she is, the whole thing doesn't work. Denise Dorado, also first time working with her. The two, Lisa and Denise together, it was an amazing chemistry to see come together. It was what we needed to achieve in these two women together, and they worked beautifully. Again, we saw that in the rehearsals. We could see the two of them really starting to connect and find a groove between the two of them. And it's such an interesting kind of almost two women who just can't stand each other, and yet they are so similar, kind of like mothers and daughters, or best friends, you know, Laverne and Shirley kind of a feel to it. And but all kind of driven by ego and fears and pain and all those great things. You know, that's all we could have hoped for.
You said she took a lot of shit with her? Imagine you come into millions. You really gonna drag a bunch of crap out of this place?
No.
This was Holland Clement's very first film. We got to witness together what it was like to make a feature film. The pacing as an actor goes, the trust on a scene by scene level to know that you don't have to hit the bullseye in every line in every scene, that you have an entire body of a feature to prove this character, and that you have to trust that the casting was for you and not for somebody else, and to let yourself be who you are and find that truth in you. It was really nice to see him come to a groove with himself. He opened up a whole other rhythm within the piece, which is quite nice.
Fine. Fuck!
Steve Alden is an actor I've worked with before. Steve Alden is a crazy, super talented actor who we go way back, actually. He was brilliant, and he was kind of this whirlwind storm that comes through it, you know, periodically in the story, and he brings all this chaos and suspicion with him. And he and I think all the characters really enjoyed having this kind of a 1980s thing going on too. The key was not to go too over the top, because the 80s can get kind of funny. So we had to keep it just on the edge of being a farce, but still keeping that kind of dated feel to it. Britney Powell, I've worked with her before, and she is a fine actress. I think I got a thrill out of the fact that she was really wanting to play something that wasn't pretty. Her character is wonderful because she kind of like hands the baton over to the other character in the story. But you can see in the brief amount of time that we get to meet her, was the level of intimacy that caregivers tend to develop over time with their patients, which can be frighteningly close, to the point where, especially if someone is in a terminal situation, or just aging in general, it's inevitably that they're going to lose a best friend kind of thing. A lot of health caregivers will move and circulate before it ever gets to that level, just so they're protecting themselves. Daryl Stevens brings yet another dimension to this whole piece. He was, as the story goes, probably the one innocent person in the entire batch, but we also have suspicions about him, as the story is trying to articulate the fact that when you do have people who are in aging years and they're not in full control of their own assets, there are going to be people who are going to kind of come in from different angles and take advantage of you.
Are you sure you can ride?
So just by proxy of being this guy who's hanging out with this older woman and painting her portrait, and it just feels kind of suspicious, and because everyone else has a very devious kind of like little intentions going on, he's guilt by association, and the audience has to figure out whether or not he too is in the game.